there's always room at the top. It's mighty crowded down below.
Hey there, Lincoln here from boacademy.org. Today let's talk about Lucid Motors and their progress on production and whether or not they're on track. Back on March 7th, I asked the question, if Lucid Motors builds it, will they come? And it seems that Lucid Motors is ready to answer that question. We're getting very close to answering that question. Just this week, Lucid Motors CEO Peter Rawlinson came out on CNBC on Yahoo Finance and answered some questions from reporters. And I love the answers that I heard. He is saying that the company is on track to reach their production goals this year. 577 cars will be produced this year, according to the CEO of Lucid Motors. And we got some news this week as well from the SEC. The SEC has approved the S4 filing for the Lucid Motors and CCIV Churchill Capital Corp SPAC merger to go through. And the company is planning to have the merger vote, the SPAC merger vote, on July 22nd, 2021. And on the 23rd is when they expect to complete that merger and be listed on the stock exchange as Lucid Group. That's right, not Lucid Motors, Lucid Group. And that alludes to something that we'll talk about later. But I am very excited for this because on July 23rd, we can expect the conversion of CCIV stock to LCID for Lucid Group on the stock market. So if you're a holder, a shareholder, or a warrant holder, your stock will be converted as such. So we have a lot to talk about today. Let's just get to it. But before we do, if you enjoyed the video, do me a big favor and like the video below, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, and comment your thoughts on Lucid Motors' progress. First, let's watch the interview on CNBC with the CEO of Lucid Motors and him telling us about their current progress.
Peter, you've said that you plan to put vehicles into production in the second half of the year. The second half of the year begins next month. So what's it look like right now for you?
Well, we achieved a landmark red letter day last Friday. We started building our quality validation run, production run of cars. We've completed our pre-production run very successfully. And last Friday, June the 18th, the last working day of spring, we commenced our quality validation build at our state-of-the-art factory in Arizona. And there's a big difference here, Andrew. The quality validation build cars are the cars which ultimately we will sell directly to customers once we've got the quality right. And that build is currently underway. This is a big step forward in our mission to industrialize Lucid Air.
You've said that you plan to deliver 577 vehicles this year. You have 10,000 plus reservations. Are you on schedule?
Absolutely. We're bang on schedule. And as soon as the quality is right, we're on schedule to release those cars, what I believe will be the best car in the world, to proud new owners in the second half of this year. We're absolutely on track for that.
So as you just heard from the CEO, Lucid Motors is on track to meet their goal of producing 577 Lucid Airs this year and getting those delivered to customers. And as what he says to be the best electric vehicle cars on the market. I have 2,000 plus shares of CCIV, and I've been holding since the CCIV merger rumors back in, what was that? January, February, I forget when, but it's been a long time coming. And we were originally expecting the production to start in the first half of 2021, but it was pushed back once the merger was announced. So that was not received well, but we've now seen Lucid Motors driving around town in New York City and across the country. So they are making progress. It's actually, the car is actually moving. They're making it very clear that they're not the next Nikola Motors or Lordstown Motors. So I very much believe Peter Rawlinson, and this company looks like they're going to do what they said. At least I hope so. Otherwise, I'm going to lose a lot of money. But I believe in the company. I'm still holding. I plan to hold through the production and through the merger and all of that. I'm holding this for long term. At least that's the current plan, as long as nothing changes on us. So with that said, listen to the CEO once again talk about how investors should value Lucid Motors against the competition and whether or not he thinks that they are just another car company.
Peter, all of that technology is very, very exciting, but I just go back to the valuation issue, which is I think that investors are trying to grapple with what and what kind of multiple they should be assigning and how they should be valuing these companies. Tesla obviously has a remarkable valuation that effectively means that it is bigger by market cap if you were to combine almost all of the current car makers together. The question is, you look at the valuation of your company, you look at the valuation of others. There's a lot more competition in this space. Do you think that investors should be using the valuations of some of the older car company models, the sort of classic companies, the Volkswagens, the General Motors of the world? Should they be looking at a Tesla when they look at you? What do you think is the appropriate way to think about it?
It's a fascinating point you raise. Tesla's commanding its valuation as future-looking, and also because it is in a preeminent position. It is the preeminent technology company in the EV field. That's why it commands such a high market cap. And there's now going to be two runners in that race. Lucid is going to join as a new force in EV technology. And that puts the US in an incredibly healthy position, having two front-running EV tech companies in Tesla and Lucid. And I think it's the technology that justifies those valuations. It's no longer the commodity valuation, how many cars you build, that determines the value of a company. It's the technology and the future potential of that tech. And our tech has got the future potential to truly mass industrialize electric cars.
So you heard what he said. He's saying there that, hey, we are not just another one of those ICE manufacturers. We're not one of those gas car manufacturers that just has to produce many cars to get their valuation up. We're not being valued based on how many cars we produce. Like Tesla, we're being valued, and we should be valued based on the technology that we're building and the future potential of the technology, what we can do with that technology in the future. Can we go beyond just building cars? Can we build energy storage units? Can we license our battery technology? What else can we do with this technology that we're building, that we have, that is patented and is ahead of everyone else in the market? What else can we do with that will increase the value of this company, that will create more value for our customers, both in the consumer space and in the B2B, business to business space? That's what we're being valued on. Not how many cars we can produce in a year, right? We don't need to produce the same amount of volume that Toyota and Volkswagen and GM and Ford and all of them could do in order to be valued better than they are, because we are a tech company. We're not just a car company. So that's why I'm investing in this company. I said it from the start, I would never just invest in a car company. I want more. I am a software engineer. That's what my competitive advantage is. Understanding technology, understanding the value that it brings to this world and to customers and clients, and what can be done with that technology once it's built, once it's out there. That is the value of CCIV Lucid Motors, Lucid Group, and you can see there that they call themselves Lucid Group, not Lucid Motors. They're not just a motors company, right? That's the reason they're going with that name and switching from Lucid Motors, because they are not just focusing, they don't just want to be a car company. They want to be so much more than that. When you see the word group in the company's name, that tells you that they're going beyond just one sector, one space. They're going to leverage vertical integration in order to provide multiple solutions across a horizontal field of segments, of industries. So Lucid going forward is not just a car company. They're going to start there, get these 577 cars out to customers this year, and try to fulfill the 10,000 reservations, 10,000 plus reservations that they have for this car, and continue to build on that. And as they produce revenues and move towards profits, they can start thinking about how they can expand, right? The way you win in this market, the way you win in the stock market is by investing in companies that have optionality, that are not just stuck in one bucket, that can leverage their technology, all of their solutions in a vertically integrated manner to offer more services across various industries, various segments. Think Google started out with search, then they moved to phones. Then they said, hey, we can use our phone and search technology to build a laptop. And then they use their search, phone, and computer technology, as well as their hardware technology, to produce Google Home voice assistants that is the best out there. There's just no competition. That's how you win. That's how you protect your capital. Not by investing in 100 companies, but by finding the one company that can do 100 things and do them very well. Of course, not 100, you know what I mean? Multiple things and deliver on each of them better than anybody else can. That's what Tesla does. That's what Google does. That's what SoFi does. That's what Tattoo Chef does. That's what Square does. That's what Amazon does. And that's what Cloudflare does. And so many more. Those are the type of companies that 10x, 20x, 100x over the decades. And that's why I find those few companies that can do that and do that very well and go extremely heavily into them. That's why whenever I show you my portfolio, 1 or 2 positions account for half of my portfolio, if not more. At this very moment, CCIV accounts for 18.7% of my portfolio. That's a big percentage. It was once a lot more than that when it was running up back in, February of this year. Good old times when it was at $50, $65 per share. But now we're back at 25. But this week, we moved up a lot. Let's look at it real quick. Just this week, we moved up 7%, $1.68. And over the last month, we've moved up 25%, $5.15. So investors are reacting very well to all this news. Just a few weeks ago, there was some talk about the CEO on CNBC not answering questions straightforwardly. And there's been YouTubers who made responses to that, and that's fair. He was asked if they're on track, and he didn't give them a straight answer. It was pretty much an answer written by their lawyers. So now he came out twice this week on both CNBC and Yahoo Finance, and I'm sure other places, and said, hey, we are on track. He actually went into that question very strongly and said, yes, we are on track. We're going to hit 577 this year. We're going into our quality production mode, which means that once those meet the quality standards that we set, and that, of course, the industry has set, we can start rolling out those cars. These are production cars. Once they meet the standards, we can start delivering them. So we are in production mode now. This is time to get the cars out. So if you're an investor in CCIV, we're almost there. It's been a great run. It's been a crazy run, right? We've been through this for quite some time now before the actual announcement, with all the speculation on whether or not CCIV and Lucid Motors will be going to a merger together. And there was lots of investigations by the community. And we finally got the announcement. And now we've been watching as the company produces these cars and shows us how they work, how they're being built, how they're being tested on the roads, right? On New York City, we've seen it, and they are an actual company producing actual cars that look very good. And if I could afford it, I would love to buy it. But of course, I can afford it. Yeah, I don't have that kind of money. Before we sign off, one of my concerns is, do all these people have enough money to actually go and buy it? Of course, you have to put down some money to reserve the car, but it's not anywhere close to how much the car actually cost. So hopefully the 10,000 reservations, at least, let's say 10%, 50%, I don't know, 30% can actually afford this car. Those would be good numbers. If there can be 1,000 people, 2,000, 5,000 people who actually can afford this car, that would be good. But if it's less than that, if it's less than 1,000 people who reserve the car but can actually afford it, we might be in a little bit of trouble. But I believe that there will be a market once these cars get on the road and people start to see that it's actually real. And then, of course, we have a huge pile of cash, so we can go through lots of money at advertisements on social media, on the NBA finals, and of course the Olympics is coming up. So there's lots of room for advertisement, and we have lots of money from this SPAC deal. And of course we have the Saudi fund that is backing this company because they missed out on Tesla. They made a bad decision leaving Tesla back in the day, and now they're putting all of their effort into this car. So we have all the money we need. Once we get this car produced, we can get the advertisements, the marketing out, and we can actually start to make some sales and get some revenues and move towards profitability. That's what I'm looking forward to. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a big favor and like the video below, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and comment your thoughts on CCIV's SPAC merger with Lucid Group, and let me know if you're going to continue to hold it. And of course, let me know if you think that it can compete with Tesla and Volkswagen and Porsche, because everyone's going to start to get their electric cars out there. And as always, these videos are brought to you by our patrons at patreon.boacademy.org who keep this channel going by supporting the channel financially and helping me brainstorm new video ideas in our Discord channel where we discuss the stock market in real time every day and share news, rumors, and new investment ideas, such as when the CCIV Lucid Motors rumors came out. That's where we found it first, and we got in very early on that, and we were able to 6x our money within, 6 weeks? And of course, we got into ChargePoint and SoFi and many other SPACs early before everyone else found out, because we're able to collaborate and share ideas and research together. So if you're interested in all of that, you want to support the channel financially, then join us over at patreon.boacademy.org. And of course, you have a chance at winning $200 every month just for being a loyal and engaged patron. I'm Lincoln with boacademy.org. Thank you again and have a great day.